Hi everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we've got in this Elna Air Electronic SU, Swiss machine, very well made. It's coming because it's jammed. Normally for these to be jammed there's thread locked in between the bobbin case and the actual turning hook. The thread breaks off, goes in there, just jams it up. It's quite an easy fix. Just take the plate off here, put it around. Bobbin cases at the back on these. Just take the foot attachment off. No, thank you. There, we just remove the foot and the shank, whether that's gone. What's the foot shank now? Right, that's my daughter just asking me a question. Right, something in there, look. Okay. And then there's just two little screws to undo on these to remove this top part of the bobbin case. You don't remove the screws, just loosen them off, they stay in place. You can see the thread here across the bobbin case, so it's got jammed up with thread. It's not unusual for these, normally caused by fluff filling the gap that's supposed to let the thread come through. Let's loosen this off. I should be able to lift this up now. That's it. So there's your problem. Lots of thread wrapped around the bobbin case. It's an easy fix to get rid of that, but it's obviously been caused by fluff and just not being lubricated and tight. Nothing's moving correctly. I've done this machine back in 2006, which I've moved house 18 years ago, so this is the old phone number. So it's obviously due for another service. It was due for a service in September 07. So it's 18 years, 19 years since it was last done, and there we go. Running like a dream now. Let's check the zigzags working. Not very well, because you see how slowly this is coming across. It should just flick straight back, which means a zigzag is all over the place. So it is the reason that machine should be serviced. Easy fix, it's just a quick service and then the machine will be good as new. These are lovely machines. The difference with these machines is they don't have a normal foot control. They actually run off of air. So plug that electric in to give it power and light, which means the light's not working, so we'll put a bulb in there. But this is the end of the foot control. It's actually a tube, an air tube. You can't see it, you might be able to hear it. Now you put your foot on that, and the more you push down, the more air it gets. And it works off a diaphragm, and the diaphragm squeezes electrical contacts and gives it. So you can still control the speed slowly if you want to, or fast. You've also got a speed controller here. That's the difference. I don't know why they use an air controller. I suppose it's less to go wrong, but if it goes wrong it's in here rather than at the foot control. I've had it where the diaphragm's split and just doesn't hold a vacuum, so it just doesn't run. You blow air into it, nothing happens. So first thing to do on this, take the top off. I don't normally take the top right off on this because you've got to remove the handle, so we just loosen the top and then fold it back. 2 screws out, lift that up, and then just pop it at the back. And I can get to everything there toward it. We've got a lever here to push down, so I can grab the bulb. Checking there's not a separate switch for the bulb. I don't think there is on this. I think it should just work off the power switch. Sometimes they have a little switch somewhere else. No. So I'm guessing the bulb's gone. So we'll change that first. It's just a push and twist. Quite a long one on these. I don't think I've got any of those, but we can put a short one in. This means we need longer fingers, but what I've got here is a little tool which they use for the Bonina bulbs. I can push it in with that. Like fiddly job fitting bulbs on these. Need 3 hands really. It's not great for filming because I can't show you what I'm doing. But oh, I've just found the light switch. I thought there was one on here. There's actually a light switch here, right at the back. So before we change the old lamp, let's just see if it works now. Yeah, it's a switch all along. Just unplug that so I don't burn myself. Yeah, it's just me forgetting there was a switch. Plug that back in, the light should work now. Yeah, there you go. Lights on, lights off. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I vaguely remember there being a switch, but unless you'd owned it from new, you probably wouldn't even know that light switch is there. Good to go, and I'm also going to take the bottom off, which is a little Phillips screw on this here to take the cover off, and also I'll take this main plate off underneath as well so I can oil this end. It's tight, hasn't been off for a long time now. Like 18 years I'd imagine. And then flat-headed screwdriver. They're not very tight because I never do them up that tight, and I did it up last. So from the factory they're normally really tight. That's probably how you can tell if your machine, if you've got one of these, if it's ever been serviced, if they're really tight, it's probably factory sealed. And by now, because the age of the machine, it'll be really dry. Great engineering, these machines. The Swiss certainly know how to make stuff. Mechanical stuff anyway. Mechanical stuff, watches, clocks. Make really nice sewing machines, Bonina and Elna. I rate Bonina as probably being the best sewing machine make. Well, a lot of them now are built in Thailand and places like that, but the original Bonina, Swiss made, lovely machines. This hasn't been used a lot since I serviced it, I'm guessing, because it's pretty full of fluff, but very dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run it, oil it underneath, so I don't really want to stand it up without a base on it, because this is lower than this, so I'll be hitting it as I run it. And again, all my videos say the same thing, just watch where the things are turning, moving, and the bits that aren't. And just oil between them so that everything gets lubricated. The customer's also complaining about the stitch length on this. I think it's probably caused by lack of oil. These gears go sometimes, little nylon gear. Still get them, so if you open up your machine and that gear's got teeth missing, don't panic, you can get gears. A lot of people do the gears. They're quite easy to change on these as well, just need to time the machine up afterwards. And this runs lovely, such a nice machine. I'm just slowly working oil into it, not too much. Just nice to keep it moving, all the joints. Just put a drop of oil. A little bit of ticking from the bobbin case, but once I put some oil in there, that will sort that out. Put it onto stretch stitch to make the bottom, so it makes this bit turn. Checking that's working properly. Convinced that's working properly, that stretch stitch. Only started to loosen up a bit now, the zigzag. Okay, I'm going to put the base back on now because there's nothing to stand it up on and I don't want to break anything. This button here goes just in that slot, which releases the leg on the flatbed. Releases this leg. Let's check there's no fluff under there. Really want to push that into place. A bit fiddly. I'll just unplug the electric while I'm doing this. Just get these screws started. Just loosely. That's it. Got those two done, these should line up now. It's a little bit fiddly. Good. Get the fourth one started. tighten all these up and I can stand it up and run it. Just want to double check that that stretch stitch is working, which I can do by putting some fabric under it and see if it moves back and forwards. Oh, that's it. Put a drop of oil on the hook down here, and also I'm going to just check that the hook is free of fluff. They're famous for getting fluffing behind this plastic. There's a plastic piece in here that at the top of the bobbin case screws down to. It's nice and clean. I don't think this has been used a lot since I did it last. It's very clean but very dry. Just going to pop some of them on. I'm going to pop the foot on as well. So I can get some fabric in there. Just want to watch the fabric move. That's it. Just off a bit of fabric. I just want to watch it move. That's it. I think it might not be moving because of that little bit out of place. Right, let me just plug it in back in again. Electric's in there and this little air pipe in there. So that's moving nicely. That's a short stitch. Right, so the stretch stitch isn't stretch stitching, it's just going in reverse, which I thought, so I'm thinking there's something on the top which is stuck. So this here should be turning like that, and it's not. Just going backwards. Should be doing this. So the mechanism that does that is stuck somewhere. I'm thinking it's just through lack of oil. They probably never use stretch stitch, which means it's not been used, which means it's dried up. I'm just wondering if I can I'm going to undo this bracket that's holding on this handle. Take the handle off, take the top, get it right out of the way so I can watch and see what's happening. I am guessing it is purely lack of oil and something's stuck. Oh, that's tight. See if we can loosen that off just a little bit. That's it, it's loose. Now we can get the big screwdriver in, take the little screw out. That's it, so that's that off there. This all can slide to the right, come right off. Now I can get into the top and see what's happening. So this here should be moving left and right, pushed by this thing here, and that should be against. So that's long, that's short, that's backwards, that's reverse, that's working. And what should be happening is this should be pushing against there, not there. So it's either just lack of lubrication, but it doesn't feel like it should be pulling against. Very strange. Okay, I'm just going to try and suss out why that isn't. So there should be a yeah, that's the mechanism that should be happening. That should be pushing that like that. In my head I'm thinking it's just a lack of lubrication, which is not letting something drop somewhere, but okay, just got to suss out the mechanism on this. So I can't see why that isn't. Sure, here this should be this mechanism's not, is a little bit tight. That spring should be pulling it back. It feels like there should be a spring on this. Yeah. It's doing its thing. There should be a, I'm thinking there should be a pattern disc on there which pushes this. That is not enough movement to make that push anything. Might have to go away and find a manual on this one and see what I can do. I'll get back to you on this one. Okay, I've sussed out what's happened here. This has to have a disc on here, which the customer's taken out to do stretch stitch. What happened was this bit had come out of place. I'll show you where it was. So this was like this. This was in front of this piece. It should be behind it, like so. Let's put this spring back on. Put that down there, so that when the disc is on here and you set it as stretch stitch, that disc will have little cutouts in it which will push this as it turns and create the backwards stroke. So it was wrong, it was out of position, but I can't test it without the disc, and they haven't supplied the pattern disc, but that's fine now. Okay, I just had to get my head around that. It took me a couple of minutes to work it out. So the machine's fine, it was in the wrong place, but me thinking that disc's not there because they never use it, never use stretch stitch or patterns, they just use it for general sewing, which is fine. But if they pop that disc in now, it will do a stretch stitch, so I'm happy with that. Got to clean up this now, make sure this is nice and clean, which it is. I'm going to take the foot off so I can see what I'm doing. And we'll screw this down. Drop of oil on the race. These machines are prone to getting jammed up. What I'll do when the customer picks the machine up, I'll tell her to have a look at this video I'm making, and then she can see how to solve the problem if it happens again. But, and people are a bit scared of taking things apart, and I get that. It's not everyone's cup of tea, is it? Those things I won't strip down. I always get someone in to do them, because leave it to people who know what they're doing. You don't make things worse then. Okay. They're quite controllable, these machines, considering they're air controlled. I think they'd be a bit clumpy, but they're not. They're quite easy to control. Go really slow with your foot like that. Yeah, it seems very clever, the air control on it. It's nice and free. It's just very well made, these machines. I know I keep saying it, but I do like Swiss machines. Just pop off the side panel just to oil this end. Probably don't need to, but I'm going to show you the controller. We better see a lot of it because it's enclosed in a plastic case, but always interesting to show people things. That should just slide off. I won't take it right out because it means unplugging all the... But under there is a control panel with the connections there for the motor. They just pop it out a bit more. That's it. I don't want the connections to come undone. And that's where all the air and the diaphragm is, all the electronics. I've had to change them in the past. It's a bit fiddly getting it on and off because you haven't got a lot. There's not a lot of cable on the leads, and I don't want to disturb it too much because I really don't want to be taking that apart, not in this heat. Pop these two screws back. Yeah, so if you are servicing this, I'd avoid taking that off that side panel. You can get to all the oiling points from the top and the bottom. You take that off and the leads come off, and you've got to fiddle around trying to plug them back in again. You haven't got a lot of room. It's very frustrating. Been there, done that. Just plug it in, check we haven't unplugged anything by mistake. It's good, light's still working. Speed control, that's working, switch is working, so we haven't unplugged anything. But if you just pull that out, the connections will come undone. You probably won't know which one goes where, so avoid taking that off if you don't need to. That's the button I push back in, which just releases this, makes it a bit more sturdy. Right, just checking over again, anything I've missed for oil. I'll drop more in the main shaft. One's really free, this machine, it's nice. And then we're gonna pop this back on. First of all, push that handle on the side there. The screw. I find it easier undoing these main brackets rather than trying to get the little clips off the handles themselves. I just find it easier. Hopefully that's gonna, the handle's in the way of this one. Just loosen this up a fraction. Always a bit fiddly. Bigger screwdriver on it. We've got a lot of room to screw down on this. We can get it through that slot maybe. No, I might be able to. Things you have to do. That's it. Only that one screw that's hard to get at. That's tight now. Tighten this one down. I'm ready to pop this back on. Now we have to find the screws. Just up here. 2 screws. Two. Just going to blow the tension discs out. That should be ready to sew. Okay, first thing to do, we'll wind the bobbin. On this machine, you just go around the tensions, but leave the presser foot up, because then that doesn't close the tension discs. Push that across. Put your finger on the spool just to give it a bit of tension. That's good. on these machines, hard to show you, but it's at the back, so you have the thread coming off top left, drop it in, across the bobbin, tension feels good. Quite hard to get the bobbin out of these, but you've got this little thing here that comes down on the spring, pushes into the centre of the bobbin, just lifts it out. It's quite interesting. A lot of Elnas have that. Right, to thread this machine, we go around the tension first thing, so that's the unusual. Normally goes through something first, then through this guide, down and under. I'm going to take up lever to the top and get it through there. Follow the guides. Oh, if we had a needle in it, put a nice fresh needle in. Flat goes to the back. I haven't checked the timing on this. I normally check timing on service, but don't really need to on these. The timing will be fine. The only time the timing goes out is if that little plastic gear breaks underneath. Otherwise can't really put the timing out on these. Down and up, pull the thread through. Take that out. Okay, we've got. I'm going to give it a sew now. What I'm going to do is take it up and down a few times by hand, put it onto straight stitch, just to detect the threads coming up and not getting caught anywhere. That's good. Just going to run it slowly. Nice little ticking noise as what we're after. Check the reverse. Just doing right. Lovely stitch top and bottom. Looking good on the tensions. And we run it on a zigzag. Make sure the needle's up before you change the width. That's run nice. Tension's good, not very good on the bottom, it's loose, so the top tension is too loose. Feels tight, so we'll adjust the bottom tension. I'd rather have the top tension on a decent number and change the bottom, so what we're going to do is loosen the bottom tension a little bit. Try again. Just a matter of balancing tensions on there. Oops. Thinking it's still a bit loose. Yeah. This might be one of those machines where you have to tighten the bottom rather than loosen it. Loosening the bottom actually made it worse, which was too tight, that tension. It's too tight. What I'm going to do, can't really tighten the top tension up anymore. If it's too tight, it will snap the thread. It's plenty tight enough. So we need to loosen the bottom tension. So I'm just going to take that out. going to check behind the tension unit on this. Check that there isn't any fluff I've missed. It doesn't seem to be adjusting very well. Just going to open up the tension slightly. I need to get a lower tension on this, it's far too tight. The bottom tension's too tight. It can cause the bottom stitch to be loose. It's hard to do this because it's only half a tension, half a bobbin case. Without putting it back in again. Yeah, this dial here you adjust the tension with. All it actually does is squeeze this thing, pushes that in, squeezes the tension. So I'm just releasing the tension a bit on the spring, stretching it a bit so I can get it lower. Can't actually do anything until it's all back together again. I don't like it when these intricate problems come along when I'm filming because I can't really show what I'm doing. Apart from wearing the helmet camera on my head. Just get in the way. Just nip up these screws. But it's just a matter of keep trying little bits until we can balance the tensions out. We will get there. That's better. I've stretched the spring and made it nice and loose. The tension was far too tight, and to balance the tight tension you'd have to increase the top tension by loads. It'd have to be on 8 or 9, which isn't acceptable. You've got to have a tension on the middle number, I think, on top, because it's so nice you better mess with my head. If you have it on too tight, you've got nowhere to go. If you've got something thick, you can't really go any higher. Let's try that now and see how that goes. Might have gone the other way now, but sounds better. That's it. Right, let me show you what I've done. Okay, so this is the top of the fabric. All looks great. Straight stitch zigzags, brilliant. If you look underneath though, that's the zigzag. Then I changed the tension, made it worse, and that's when I realised I had to take it apart and stretch the springs to get the tension right. So now that's the last one, proper V and a proper V. So I've balanced the tensions. We can now carry on giving it a good test. So that's that. So we'll give it a pattern to do now. Put that to 0. On to number 3, full width and a very short stitch. We should get a nice little close satin stitch. Longer. Goes really fast. It's like an industrial machine, this thing. Sounds lovely, it's so smooth. Nice top and bottom. Beautiful. Can't do any fancy stitches. I can't do the stretch stitch because that disc isn't in there. Yeah, all the little patterns you can get. You can only do these orange and green patterns here. So you match up the orange for the stretch stitch, orange, orange and orange to do those. Whereas the green will do those. So it's all, everything's colour coded on this. It's quite nice, but I've got to have a disc in there to do stretch stitch. I can't do it without. There is no pattern disc with it, so quickly going to check the buttonhole. Probably needs a buttonhole foot on this because it's getting caught in this foot. Let's just check it's doing all the stages though. That does the bar. That does the reverse. It's doing the reverse. That does the bar. That finishes it off, yeah. So it's a 5-step buttonhole on this. But this foot won't let it through unless I pull it. There we go. We got the buttonhole out of it. Good, so happy with that. There's a couple of little issues, and the biggest issue the customer probably didn't even know about was the stretch stitch mechanism being out of place. Just put it onto straight stitch. I'm going to tighten that bottom up a little bit, you know. Just like to get a nice straight stitch if I can. That's better. Let's check the zigzag as well. I'm sometimes a little bit critical on the stitches. I like them dead right. The main reason being, if I know the machine's gone out working perfectly, and then 2 days later the customer says it's not doing such and such right, I can say with quite confidence that maybe it's something the customer's doing. Because if it leaves here doing all the stitches perfectly, there's no reason why it shouldn't for everybody else. So it's not an arrogant thing, it's not an OCD thing. I just know that if it goes out working properly, a nice straight stitch, a nice zigzag, and the customer tells me later on it's not doing a nice straight stitch or a nice zigzag, and I can talk them through it and see where we can find the problem. But if I know it's set up by me okay, I don't need to doubt anything. I can just say, well, it went out working fine, let's talk about what's going on. Actually, pretty good stitching that. Yeah, happy with that now. So we'll unthread it, clean it up. I'll put the bottom back on, because I haven't done that yet. I'll show you that going on. It'll be fun. Get in the workshop once the machine had been collected and find that in the corner. What machine's that off of? I'm trying to contact the customer to say I haven't put your machine back together again properly. Right, that's done. Just run it again. That's good. Yeah, happy with that. It's a nice machine. So we solved the threading problem because it had thread wrapped around it. They're quite known for that, these machines. Not a lot you can do to stop that apart from keep it maintained. Customer can have a look on it now to see how I took it apart and put it back again. Cleaned it up, sorted out the stretch stitch problems, which wasn't really a problem in the end. I better put another sticker on there to show it's been done recently. I use different stickers now, I'll print them off. Give it the proper address, phone number I mean. Let's just pop that underneath so we've got my name in gold and white. Looks pretty. There you go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found it useful. If you've got any comments, just comment, or you see my email address there, just send me an email. Got any questions? I do try and get back to everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps me out. Get my figures up. More people see my channel. That is it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.